So now you're going to create your own indestructible quadrilaterals. Let's just check that we understand what we mean by that. So here's the example on the page with 7 quadrilaterals in there, and if I pick up the corner of the shape, I can change it. I can change the length of those lines, and I can change its size, and I can do that in a number of different ways, but I cannot stop that shape from certain fundamental probabilities. It will always have 2 pairs of parallel lines, 2 pairs of equal size, which tells me that it is a parallelogram. So what we're looking at is how do we put that shape together such that it can still be changed but doesn't ever stop being a parallelogram, and so it becomes an indestructible one. So I'll go back to the GeoGebra screen here and we'll just go through a few basics. So firstly, if I want to draw a line, all lines are defined by 2 points, so I'll choose that tool. I click once there and once anywhere else I like, and I've drawn a line. It's worth remembering that if I make my mouse a pointer like that, I can pick up either of those 2 points and move them around. So now I might be interested in making a parallel line. Well, I'm going to need another point for my parallel line to go through, so I'm going to put a new point somewhere down here. Then I'm going to go to this tool here, which offers me all sorts of choices in terms of related lines. So I'm going to choose the parallel line tool and say, well, what about I have a line that is parallel to that one and goes through point C. And now if I move one of these points, well, you can see that the lines go with it because it's become a dependent object. This line is dependent on this line. Okay, so I can still move certain things around, but the fundamental property that those lines are parallel remains true. Equally, I can create a perpendicular line. So if I choose the perpendicular line tool, I can say, give me a line please that is perpendicular to this line and goes through point B. And there we go. And again, lots of things can still be moved, but the lines, those 2 lines still remain perpendicular, and those 2 lines still remain parallel. Let's have another look at, say, the perpendicular bisector. Well, this you may know is how I can cut a line in half between 2 points. So if I say I would like the perpendicular bisector between that point and that point there, it's done it. So I now know that that line cuts the segment that goes from A to B in half completely. Now the clever thing is, if I just put one more point here just so that we can use it as an example, if I now use the Polygon Tool, I can draw a shape that goes through these points back to where I started. I can then use this show and hide tool, which means I can hide the construction lines. When I click my mouse on the pointer again, they will disappear and I'm just left with the shape that I have created. Now I deliberately did not make that one of the quadrilaterals we were working with because I wanted to just show you some examples of how it could be put together. So, very best of luck with your indestructible quadrilaterals.